Welcome back to the podcast. This week, I am extremely excited to bring to you my super special friend, Miss Hiedi Scott with DIYDreaming. She has built her business from the ground up. She's rolled up her sleeves and expanded her business in the direct sales industry. I cannot wait for you to learn from her. Let's hear from Hiedi Scott. Hey, my friend, it's Melanie Ferguson, your host of Creatives on Fire, the podcast where I hope to inspire you to create a profitable six-figure following online. So turn it up and listen in to amazing stories of success, along with behind-the-scenes secrets and valuable tips from, you guessed it, Creatives on Fire. Hey, my sweet friend, Melanie here. I have a couple of questions for you. I want to ask you if you are struggling at all with overwhelm, feeling like you need to be in a million places, not having enough time. Maybe you struggle with feeling like you're not good enough. Or who am I? Who am I to be sharing this with my audience? That imposter syndrome that a lot of us struggle with. What about just knowing what the next step is you should take in your business? Does any of this resonate with you? If so, I'd love to invite you to Creatives on Fire Insiders. This is an amazing group of creatives who are finding success and growing their businesses together. It's designed to stop the overwhelm, to build your confidence, and to guide you through the next steps you should take in your business. A lot of our focus inside is on video and live video specifically, how to get good at it, how to really capitalize on the time that we spend in our businesses. If this sounds like anything that interests you, come spend some time with us, because let's face it, who you spend your time with matters. Check us out at creativesonfireinsiders.com. We'll see you there. Welcome back to the podcast. This week, I am so excited, you guys. I am bringing you guys Miss Hiedi Scott. She has the creative business DIYDreaming, where she is host to over 120,000 followers on her Facebook business page, as well as an additional 15,000 in her creative group. She has built an amazing organization of direct sales that is over 320 large. And I can't wait to share her with you guys. Welcome, Hiedi, to the podcast.
Well, hey, Melanie, thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. Is there anything I missed? I know I tried to just get in all the bullet points, but is there anything specific I missed on introducing you?
I don't think so. That sounded great.
Okay. So Hiedi, let's just dive right in if that's okay with you. There's so much information I want to learn. First, just tell us, back when you were just starting this online empire, what did that look like? And how did you actually start growing to where you saw some traction in your audience?
That's a great question. Well, for me, I think it started probably in spring of 2019. And just like anyone else, I started my creative empire with 0 followers, 0 likes on my business Facebook page. And I just started being consistent. In January of 2020, I started coaching with you, which was awesome. And I learned a ton of things, both practical about, how you do things, marketing ideas. Oh my gosh, I just learned so much. And the thing is, I decided that I was going to treat this as my full-time job, and that I was going to make a plan, and that I was going to be consistent with it every single day. And that's what changed everything.
I love the words I'm hearing from you. It was make a plan and be consistent. And did that look like going live on that page? Do you feel like that had a hand in you growing so quickly?
Absolutely. Yeah. When I first started going live, it was hit or miss, a couple times a week, some weeks not at all. And once I started coaching with you, I committed that I was going to go live at least 6 days a week with a different new project every day. And that made all the difference in the world.
So tell us a little about your creative business. So you talked about going live with a project that was with companies, right? Like you do direct sales and you do it at the highest level. And what do you attribute most of your success to with that?
Okay, so I represent a couple different companies in different forms. I do some affiliate marketing, and then I am in a direct sales company as well. And most of the projects that I do are craft projects that I actually do live on my Facebook page. And I go at it as if I was teaching somebody how to do that. I should have been a teacher in looking back on my life, but instead I was a lawyer. So who knows? What was I doing? So I show and give tips how to complete different projects using supplies from some of these different companies that I work with.
Gotcha.
Did that answer your question?
It did. That's so amazing. So you found a way to marry your creative skills, the creative side of you, and share that live in kind of how-to tutorials. And in the same time that you're spending doing that, growing your audience, you're making money. You're making money as an affiliate and as a promoter of a direct sales company. So I want to ask you, Hiedi, how did you start attracting the people that wanted to become a part of what it was you were doing?
That is such a good question. It really is, because I have just been thinking about this a lot lately and training some of my new team members on this. And the thing that I do is I am my authentic self. I make projects that I like. I guess I attract other people who like something similar. So I'm getting people who come to my page, who will watch tutorials, who will enjoy them, who will order supplies, and then they'll share my videos on their own social media pages. And I think that's really how it's all bloomed from me, is just I'm doing what I love, and my people, your people, will find you if you are your authentic self. But if you're trying to do somebody else's projects or be someone else or someone different than what you are, you just won't. They can spot a fake. And so for me, both in my business and in my real life, I tend to focus on things that are related to my faith, related to my family, and then I love flowers. And those are the kind of projects that I do on my Facebook business page. Those are the kind of things I like to do and talk about in my real life. And those are the kind of things that I think my followers enjoy.
Yes. So faith, family, and flowers. That's like a tried and true system there. I love
It
that.
sounds silly, but it really is. I love doing flowers.
So you have attracted this amazing audience that follows you for the same things, faith, family, and flowers. And they are buying from you. And they're not just dabbling in buying from you because you shared at one time. But since you're consistent, I'm understanding they're buying from you consistently as well. And so you've been able to build up this amazing income, unlike any other income that you probably would do if you were at a 9 to 5, I'm assuming.
For sure. Yeah.
And so, in addition to the sales that you're making, Hiedi, tell us a little bit about the direct sales part of it, where you actually have a team. What does that look like?
Okay. So that looks like people see what I'm doing. And I do try to keep everything pretty simple, quick. You don't have to be a super crafter or artistic to do any of the projects that I do. And most of the time, people will come to me and say, I would like to do what you're doing. And that is really how it has all started. But going back real quick to the idea of people shopping from me and being loyal customers, across all these different brands. This goes back to something that you taught, Melanie, way back last year, and I remember it. You said that people have to know, like, and trust you. And so in order to get to know you, you have to be your authentic self. You can't be afraid of making mistakes. You have to share little glimpses into your own life. And people will like you or they won't like you. If they don't like you, they're not your people. And then for me anyways, I've found that I can't be on my Facebook page every day trying to sell something. So I just don't do that. I go at it from an approach that I'm going to teach some new skill, some new craft every day. And a few days a week, 3, 4, maybe 5 days a week, there will be a product that I use from one of the companies that I represent that people can purchase along with other supplies. But that makes a big difference, I think.
I agree. And you never run out of content.
No. Sometimes you are sort of switching it up just a bit. Like I did gilded pumpkins last year, and I'm doing gilded pumpkins slightly different again this year,
I love the repurposing idea.
Yeah.
So when you've attracted these people who want to join your team and want to do what it is you do, how has that benefited you? How is being with a direct sales company helping you grow as a business?
Well, I have 300 and something people that are on my team in my direct selling company business that I work with. And, I'm teaching them to do what I'm doing. And when you teach something, you learn it even more. When you have to teach something, it forces you to learn it sometimes. So obviously, when you are with a direct selling company and you have a team, then the company does pay you a small commission on the sales of that team. But it's so much more than that. With a lot of the people, it's a wonderful relationship that you're starting. It's great.
And you have so much experience in this realm. How long have you been in the direct sales industry?
Oh gosh, I started in my first direct selling company in 1998 when I had my first baby. And that company was Creative Memories. And I was teaching people how to preserve their memories in these scrapbooks. And that was the best first direct selling company to be involved with because it really hit on what I love, which is teaching. And I felt like family memories are important. So I felt good about what I was doing.
I love how you always equate it back to teaching. And that is kind of a great mindset to start from anytime you're starting this online journey, is to come from a position of helping and teaching what it is your followers want to know and what you're passionate about, which for Hiedi is the faith, family, and flowers. That will be stuck in my head forever. So, moving on from Creative Memories, you've gone down a path, and each time you have tried companies and maybe even segued into new companies, you've been able to grow an all new team. What does that look like?
Well, different people are attracted to different things. So the people who are in my team with my current direct selling company, teaching crafting projects, they're completely different than, for example, the people that were on my team when I represented Southern Living at Home. Those were people who loved decorating and dishes and that kind of thing, which I love that too. But so they're just different people, but the skills of managing and coaching and mentoring, they're all the same. It's just a different product that you're selling.
So, with the company you're currently with, what are some of the benefits that you would say that you get for your business that you don't have to come up with these things because the business has come up with this stuff for you? Is there a benefit to being associated with a direct sales company, I guess is what I'm asking?
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's a couple. If you're with a direct selling company and you're selling their product line, that means you don't have to make, store, ship, collect payment, or do sales tax for any of that. All you do is demonstrate whatever the product is, and people order directly from the company, and you're not involved in any of the other stuff. I don't know if that really answers your question, but that is one thing that frees up a lot of time and a lot of finances and a lot of just hassle. So, as much as sometimes I think it would be fun to make things and then sell those, honestly, I think for me personally, it's better to just teach people how to make things with products that I love. I couldn't sell something if I didn't love it, but with things that I love, and then give them the opportunity to shop from that company through my website. So I don't know, Melanie, if that answered your question, but it answered a question.
I love that thought process that you have literally tuned into the fact of your gift is teaching others. And it's not necessarily for you shipping and storing and creating on a mass level that could pay you the way you're getting paid by leveraging this outside company and your skills as a teacher.
That's right. And also this whole thing that I'm doing, it gives me a platform to share my faith. And I know you haven't asked me this, but every Sunday I do something called Christ in Crafting, where I do a craft project that's related to a Bible verse or, some question about faith. And then I go into my Bible and I pray, and that is why I'm doing everything I'm doing. In looking at my business as a whole, I can see that is where God has led me. And that is why this is so beautiful, what I'm doing right now.
And it is so beautiful. And I love that testimony. So tell us a little bit more, like how has doing that every week changed your business?
I do it every Sunday. I mean, occasionally if we're traveling, I'll replay an old Christ in Crafting. But especially when COVID was intense the first go round and people were at home, and my people tend to be older women. They weren't getting out to church. Churches were closed. And so a lot of people felt like, I'm not a preacher or anything. I'm not a professionally trained Bible anything. But they would say that they felt like they were getting, like a little mini Bible study or a mini church experience every Sunday. And in the beginning, I was so afraid that people would not like me if I was that bold with my faith. So I baby stepped into talking more about my faith. And then I baby stepped into starting to actually read from my Bible. And then I baby stepped into praying. And holy cow, praying on the internet on a Facebook Live is a little scary, but I took the plunge. And I think the people who watch that are the people who are my loyal followers and supporters. And it helps you get to know people. They ask me all the time to pray for them, to pray for different things. And it's so much more than just selling something.
I love that answer. And so along that same vein, Hiedi, what motivates you when it's hard?
Oh gosh. Well, one thing I do is I set goals for myself every month. And when I don't hit those, I feel disappointed. So when I am getting towards the end of a month and I'm not at what my goal was, that motivates me to think a little harder, work a little harder. And unless we're on a vacation or something, this is my full-time job, and I treat it just like a full-time job.
I love that you do that because you have created quite the little business here from your home. And you're such a great testimony to what is possible in the online space if you just get a little creative, leverage another company's products, and then be your authentic self. So thank you so much. Hiedi, where can we find you online?
Oh, thanks. My Facebook page is facebook.com/DIYDreaming. DIYDreaming, DREAMING, all smushed together. My direct selling company I work with is Magnolia, and my website for that is magnoliadiy.com, all smushed together, magnoliadiy.com. And those are really the two best places to find me.
Awesome. Well, Hiedi, you are such an inspiration. I've loved watching your journey over the last few years, and I'm just never ceases to amaze me how much you're able to grow and thrive online. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
Oh, thank you, Melanie, and thank you for all the time that you invested in me and just the help that you've given me.
Oh, you're so welcome. We'll talk to you later.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, my friend, for listening to the podcast. I'm blessed every single time you come back and listen to an episode. It's especially amazing when you share it with others on social media. So be sure to follow Creatives on Fire online. Listen, if you have not already done so, I want you to go ahead and download the 5 ideas I personally used to explode my online audience growth to a 6-figure following. You can find that at creativesonfirepodcast.com. I appreciate you, and until next time, stay inspired.